Hi, it's Yukiko. Today I'm here and I'm reading r/Am I the A-hole? Well, let's go and get into it. Alright, this is the first title on r/Am I the A-hole? I told my daughter she will never be in the Olympics. Am I the a-hole? My daughter, who is 14, has cerebral palsy. She's an ambulatory wheelchair user. She also uses a walker some days, and on really good days, she has a cane. She loves sports, particularly soccer and basketball. Due to her disability, she has difficulty playing them. Her dream is to become an Olympian. Okay, well that's not a bad dream, and I get that she has disability, but let her dream. She talks about it all the time. Her and her siblings play basketball lots in the warmer seasons. The issue is she's stubbornly trying to ditch her mobility aids. She wants to strengthen herself so she can go to the real Olympics. When she refuses to use her mobility aids, she has a hard time. She falls a lot when she tries to walk on her own because she refuses to use her aids. She knows it's a chronic illness and she will never get better. This is just her reality. I told her she needs to use her mobility aids for her own sake, but she insists that she can strengthen herself. If you know anything about cerebral palsy, you know that this is not exactly possible. I told her that she can go to the Paralympics, but that I believe that she can become a Paralympic champion if she puts her mind to it. But she said she didn't want to go to the Paralympics. She wants to go to the real Olympics. She doesn't think it's as cool as the so-called real Olympics. She said they hand out medals too easily and it won't be a real achievement, that the Paralympics are soft. When she fell in the kitchen and hit her head on the counter, she's okay. Because she refused her walker when she needed it, I snapped out of frustration. I can't handle seeing her torture herself for something that is unrealistic. I told her she will never go to the Olympics. That is a tough blow, man. You don't tell your 14-year-old daughter that. That's her dream. That her disability makes it impossible. So maybe instead of telling her you will never go to the Olympics, maybe you should offer to spot her when she's trying to walk. Even if you know or believe that she's not going to be able to make it, I still think that if you help her with her dream, it'd make you a little bit less of an a-hole. She wouldn't get hurt if you were there to catch her. But the issue is that you're just watching her get hurt, and you're angry because she keeps getting hurt, but you're not doing anything to help her. That she needed to aim for the Paralympics, which is just as big as an honor, an achievement, and much more realistic. She just got really upset and refused to let me help her up. She called for her sibling, who then helped her up and took her to her walker before bringing her to her room. She's currently sulking in her room and won't talk to me. I wouldn't talk to you either. If I was a 14-year-old girl and you, my father, just told me that I will never achieve my goals and my dreams, like, my other child who is 17 is saying I was a jerk to her and that I shouldn't have crushed her dreams. Was I a jerk or was I being realistic? Well, I see how it's realistic, I do, but a 14-year-old doesn't need to be forced to be realistic. You shouldn't be forcing the actual truth onto this 14-year-old who could change her mind, you never know. So you were being a jerk. And realistic, but a jerk. I think she can win a gold medal in a wheelchair basketball. She is dedicated to the sport, and when her and her sibling play for fun, she's really good even in her wheelchair. But I know for a fact she will never go to the able-bodied Olympics. Edit. While strengthening muscles is possible, her doctor has said multiple times she won't be able to walk completely without her aids. She will always have a limp for her whole life. Okay, well, I understand that, but in her head, all she heard was that she can strengthen her muscles. So even with a limp, people can play basketball with a limp, but she'll never be able to have, full strength, but I don't see that as a reason for you to crush her dreams. Alright, what do you guys think? Is he the a-hole? On to the next one. So, for our second title, we have Am I the a-hole for throwing out the I'll eat it later containers in the fridge? I'm 30M, married, work from home, support lots of calls, and our kitchen is tiny. My wife is the kind of person who saves leftovers in those plastic meal prep containers, which is fine, I do too, but hers turned out into this graveyard of maybe lunches that never get eaten. I'm talking half a burrito, 2 spoonfuls of rice, a sad corner of pasta, and a slice of... It's not food. So, our fridge started smelling weird a few weeks ago, and I kept finding containers pushed to the back with fuzzy spots on the lid, or that gray watery thing. I told her like 4 times, can we do a fridge clean out together on Sunday, or at least toss anything older than a week? She got annoyed and said I was being dramatic, that it's sealed, and I'm acting like a germ cop. I dropped it, cause I hate fighting over dumb house stuff. Actually, I hate when my family does this too, and I'm a part of it. But cleaning out the fridge does happen, like once a week. Yesterday, she was out for a few hours and I opened the fridge to grab the creamer and got hit with the sour smell again. Ew. I pulled out a stack of containers and 2 of them straight up mold inside. Not like, maybe it's fine mold, but the obvious kind that makes you instantly close it. I got pissed because we have a dog and he's always sniffing around the fridge when the door's open. Plus, I'm in and out of the kitchen between calls all day. So I tossed anything that was clearly bad and anything I could tell that was more than a week old. I know this because some of them were labeled with dates. She does that sometimes. I didn't touch the fresh stuff. She came home, she noticed the trash bag and asked why it smelled like old food. I told her I cleaned the fridge. She freaked out and started digging through the trash, pulling out containers and asking what I threw away. No, ma'am, we don't dig through trash. If it smells like old food, it's not good enough. It's just let it go. Just let it go. She said I disrespected her and that she was saving those. Ew. No, we don't save old trash like that. And that I made a decision for her like she's a child. I said, I'm not trying to control you. I'm trying to keep our fridge from becoming a biohazard. Yeah, at this point, she's growing 2 new children in there. Okay, those fuzzballs are going to become your new dogs. Okay? That ring, I don't know what it's going to become, but it's going to become some sort of life form. Okay? And might as well say that the dog has a brother or sister. For every single one of those little fuzzballs you're going in that fridge. She snapped that I always think I'm right and that if it bothered me so much, I should have waited for her to do it with me instead of doing it behind her back. Now she's barely talking to me and keeps saying that I threw away her food and didn't care. And I'm sitting here feeling like maybe I crossed the line by not waiting, even if it was gross. Am I the a-hole? Okay, well, no. What I would have done is I would have stuck my hand in that trash bag, okay? Grabbed out one of the old moldy containers, if you threw the stuff away in the containers, and said, here you go, I'll heat this up for you, 30 seconds on high. Then I'm going to watch you eat it, all of it. And just like, just tell me how it tastes. Tell me if you were, going to take that to lunch tomorrow, Because then maybe she would understand a little bit that none of that stuff was probably edible. You're eating your fur baby. Okay, you're eating your secondary dog at this point. So definitely not the a-hole. I probably would have done the same. Alrighty, next one. I just wanted to pause right there and say thank you guys so much for staying with me. I know I took such a long break, but I still want to be a streamer and things have been happening and I think I'm going to try to continue with a constant schedule from now on, though I probably won't be as consistent. But again, thank you guys so much for staying with me and I hope that you guys enjoy my next videos to come. Alrighty, on to the third Am I the A-hole? So, our next title is Am I the A-hole for wanting to visit my childhood best friend for 2 days without asking for my boyfriend's permission? My 22M boyfriend and I, 22F, got into a 2-hour fight. 2 hours? That's crazy. Because my childhood best friend, 22F asked me if I'd want to come visit them in their city for 2 days, and I said yes. My plans are to just arrive one day, hang out, and meet their girlfriend, and then go home the next day. My boyfriend thinks I should ask permission for things rather than just telling him I made the plans. No, you shouldn't have to ask permission to go hang out with your friends. They've met before, and he knows who they are. For context, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 7 years. 7 years? 7 years? And he's asking you? No, he's not even asking you. He's telling you that you need to ask permission to go and see your best friend who he knows? 7 years. Y'all shouldn't even be dating if he forces you to tell him, like, where you're going, who you're going with. He's not your mother. He's not your father. He's your boyfriend. I mean, I get him, being appreciative that you're telling him where you're going, but you should not have to tell him where you're going. I haven't seen my friend in 5 years, and we're trying to reconnect. He gets angry and insecure anytime I want to see any of my friends, which isn't often whatsoever. Maybe every couple months? That's a red flag. No, that's not a healthy relationship. If I assume he can hang out with his friends, you should be able to hang out with yours. He doesn't hang out with anyone very often either. Okay, when he does, and when he used to do it more, I didn't make him ask permission, and I didn't get upset over it. He says he wouldn't be mad if it was just a day, but he's acted the same way over me hanging out with my friends for a few hours, angry and telling me I'm not allowed. I don't believe that he would have been okay if it was just a day, and I don't believe he would have said yes if I asked for permission beforehand. Okay, you should never have to ask for permission if you want to hang out with your friend, because that's crazy. A boyfriend of 7 years? It kind of shows that, he's unconfident in himself, and 7 years and gets angry over it? Yeah, no. For our last title, we have Am I the A-hole for cutting off my friend? I, 17F, have been best friends with Lily, 17F, since middle school. We've always been close, but lately she's been acting strangely and being extremely secretive, constantly on her phone and randomly accusing me of switching up. Last week, a guy I used to talk to suddenly messaged me out of the blue. Something about it felt off, but I brushed it aside and kept the conversation short. 2 days later, Lily confronted me, saying I failed her test and that I'd proved I couldn't be trusted. Apparently, she gave her cousin my number and had him pretend to be that guy to see if I'd flirt back. She said she needed to know if I'd stay loyal to her and not go behind her back. Oh, does she think you're dating her? Because you do know that friends don't stay loyal in that way, right? Your friend can have a boyfriend. You can have a boyfriend. You're not being loyal. I mean, it's different if you talk about her behind her back with that guy, but just being with that guy, flirting with a guy, is not being unloyal to her. I was shocked and honestly embarrassed. I told her that setting me up like that was manipulative and crossed the line. I would have too. She did cross the line. That is kind of manipulative. She doubled down and said if I had nothing to hide, I wouldn't be mad. Huh? She also said real friends would understand why she did it. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. I mean, I get it if it was a joke, but she was really angry that you didn't stay loyal to her because of a guy. You did stay loyal. There was no test there. I ended up telling her I needed space and stopped talking to her. Now our mutual friends are split. Some say I overreacted, and some say I should forgive her because she was insecure, while others say what she did was creepy and controlling. Am I the a-hole? Yes, it was creepy and controlling. She should have never said that. I think that if you had nothing to hide, what were you hiding? And that's the end of r/Am I the A-hole. I hope you enjoyed this video just as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Please stop by and come and hang out. That's it. Bye, guys.